These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we do.
These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. I'm your host, Marlon Wells. Sitting on the other side of the internet is Nathan Fulsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How you doing today?
I'm existing.
Yeah?
You know, I'm hanging on, not by a thread, by multiple threads. I mean, it's a tenuous grasp, but it's not real alarming. I'm not calling for help yet.
What's it going to take to get you into the green on one of these intros? What's it going to take for you to be like, great, I'm having a hell of a day, Marlon?
I mean, that could be a podcast in itself. Well, it started with college. It started with adolescence. I wasn't hugged enough. I should have concentrated on a STEM degree.
That's shit you got to work out on your own. You gotta purge that on your downtime so you can come all fucking fresh faced to the goddamn podcast, Nate.
I think our listeners appreciate it. They appreciate the honesty. It's like homicide life on the streets. You don't want to hear Andre Braugher whistling Dixie. You want him to be steely-eyed, been beaten down by 30 years of work in the streets.
I'm not saying they don't appreciate the honesty, but I bet they would rather you be honestly thrilled with life, or at least better than...
I mean... Would the podcast even be any good then? If I was thrilled with life, honestly, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be bringing my kids to soccer practice.
You know what? All of this is all pretty alarming stuff, actually.
This isn't healthy, what we're doing. It is 5:30 on a Monday. We should be having dinner with our wife and kids.
I'm doing just fine. I'm having a good day. Like, I don't know what kind of shame you bring to this show, but I'm having a perfectly good day.
It must be your years of radio work that you can so flawlessly lie to me.
What?
I can see the sadness, the darkness in those eyes.
No, you can't. I just have a bad webcam. It's a laptop webcam.
It's early onset glaucoma.
No, it's not.
I'm on pills.
I'm having a good day. I had Wheaties and a banana for breakfast. Like I ate well. I went and got a haircut today. Like I'm having a good. I've got all my laundry folded. Like.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get us. That ain't gonna get us our FX fucking drama show. We need my gritty realism.
Is that what you're shooting for? Is that what you want?
Comedy's dead. Comedy's dead. We need prestige drama. That's what we gotta go for.
All right. Is this going to be like Atlanta, or are you thinking a fully fictionalized? Are you looking to make a Justified sequel? Like, what are you talking?
God, let me think. I don't know. Maybe like 6 Feet Under, but we're like the janitors at the mortuary.
Okay. All right. I would watch a show about mortuary janitors. Okay, yeah.
That's a reality show is what that is.
Like
that's the hijinks. See, that would be a lighthearted
Is it called Dust to Dustpans?
Yeah. Oh. Quick, email that to yourself so we have a copyright on
it. I guess as far as television goes, yeah, that makes better television than just having a good day.
Yeah. They want the gritty realism.
I had a very whimsical time choosing a bare fruit can, and guess it turned out to be pineapple. And I was like, okay, I was hoping for pears, but okay, we'll have pineapple because I am whimsical and fun, Nathan. I'm not a sad boy.
You pouring that into a bowl?
No, God, no. Why dirty a bowl?
Eat right out of the can. That's, in some people's eyes, that's a pretty alarming sign of deep-seated mental illness.
Not at all. I'm with you. just a practical boy that doesn't like to do dishes more often than he has to.
You saving the can? You
No,
you drinking water off the side of your bed with that can for the next couple of weeks?
No, I don't save the can. No. You eat the pineapple, take the juice down to the head, and then fucking toss that can in the trash.
I can't wait till this ends with you eating 1 gallon size cans of fruit cocktail that you buy directly from Nash Finch.
Oh.
The surprise exhausts me. I know what I have.
God, sitting over a 1 gallon tin can of fruit cocktail. That's intimidating. That's a lot of fruit.
Yeah, that is. Holy shit. How many times do you pass out eating that?
Or do you just eat what you need and then just balance the top back on it and set it in the fridge?
You have an ornate collection of vintage late 1800s syringes that you use to shoot blood sugar meds in.
Antique syringes, the like 3-finger kind that have the plunger and then the 2 sides. Yeah, the little
like a Nine Inch Nails video.
Hell yeah. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
I'll share with you, I don't want to portray like, oh, I'm living my best life all the time. I had a hell of a time yesterday, Nathan. I decided to treat myself to some Culver's for lunch yesterday. Love me a Culver's. Crinkle cut fries, big fan. Love a fat ass crinkle cut. And my hubris got me in trouble because I was driving home and I was a hungry boy. I'd eaten all the fries already in the car.
Barbarian.
And I was like, you know what? I bet I can eat a patty melt in the car while I'm driving, right? Like, that seems like an attainable goal. So I unwrap a Culver's patty melt, and I'm holding it in my hand, and I took one big bite out of the middle, and the whole patty fell out and down the front of my shirt. I was just, oh no, with a mouthful of greasy bread and cheese and onions, just trying to get this fucking burger patty while I'm driving, trying to pick it up and like drive with a knee to try to cram it back in the sandwich. That's not working. The patty's falling apart. I got fucking melted cheese and burger grease all down my front. I have never had a more undignified meal than trying to eat a Culver's patty melt while I'm fucking driving.
Dude.
I was just a pitiful fucking animal, just like, oh no.
Two cute co-eds in a convertible pull up to a red light and you're trying to fucking chew a fucking burger patty off your tit. Just a satisfied smile because you didn't need to touch it with your fingers. You're able to use the buns. The Texas toast has better grip.
Hey, where are you going? Hey. Oh man, I was so bummed. That was lunch. I was bummed the rest of the day. Just kicking dirt. Oh fuck.
Take your shirt off. There's still remnants of ketchup on your abdomen. Did it slip through a couple buttons and then slip back out towards the bottom?
Nope, stayed all on the front. But then, like, you try to fucking get a hold of a burger patty while you're driving and fumbling it, and parts are breaking off, and I was a fucking mess. I got home just like, you couldn't fucking wait? What's the matter with you? You fucking hog? What are you doing?
I fucked up.
I did. I fucked up.
I fucking made a mistake and I'm paying for it.
You throw this shirt in the garbage.
Burn everything.
So not every day is a can of pineapple, Nathan.
It sure isn't. Hey, Marlon.
Hey, Hey, Nathan.
You know who doesn't collect Victorian era medical curiosities?
Oh, you were still back there? Okay.
Oh, that one got chambered right away.
Okay.
And I tell you, I had to think about it. Have they? Have we ever seen that? Has there ever been an episode where one of them gets dumb rich and buys some silly old medical shit? But I'm pretty confident we haven't seen that one yet.
It would strike. I wouldn't be shocked if Mr. Burns had one, but go ahead. Who doesn't have antique
Not a
medical
Simpson.
equipment?
Not a Simpson.
Yeah.
You know who has it?
Who is that?
The Simpsons.
There we go. We got there.
We got there. Hey.
Just clapping.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the ones where I get it chambered right away. I like when there's a hint of desperation in my voice as I try to piece it together. Boy, some of them have died on the launch pad.
Our listeners don't know it, but there have been a few where it's like, fuck, I can't fucking think of one. We're gonna.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll cut all this out.
Yeah.
Like, they've happened.
Yeah, you're in front of a marker board right now and we're brainstorming.
It is kind of fun when it does happen though, because it's like you just vapor lock. Like, hey, Marlon. Yeah, Nathan. Fuck.
Doing a timeout with my hands.
Yeah. Signaling for 20, like with the shoulder tap.
We're at the tail end of season 32. We got 18 through 22. Am I doing my numbers right there?
You got it. We're going to wrap it up today.
Mm-hmm. Nice tight little bow. Perfect. Ends. So next week it'll be episode number 1. That feels good.
Tight bow. Make it tight.
Moving on, we're up to episode 18.
Oh, fucked up.
Burger King's episode begins with that like moon-faced McDonald crooner dude. I think that has a name. What is it?
Mac Tonight.
Man, you had that loaded. Did you have to look it up or did you know it?
Nope, I knew that one.
No shit. Good pull. Like, because that shit's from the late 80s, early 90s, if I had to guess.
I only know it, like, I don't remember it at the time or anything.
Yeah.
I know it through current cultural. Like, also, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, I could be making shit up, but I'm pretty sure I read in an article that was Doug motherfucking Jones, who is, like, he's the guy in all
The
of
Shape of Water.
Yeah, he's the guy in all of Del Toro's movies. He's the fish man, and he's the other fish man in the Hellboy movies. And,
eyeballs in the hand.
Yeah, he's eyeball in the hands guy.
Which, if you've never seen any of these movies, we sound like fucking lunatics right now.
Fishman and other fishman and eyeball hands guy.
There needs to be 2 exasperated cops standing by us because they're asking us questions and we're homeless lunatics. Hey, there's a robbery next door. Did you see who did it? Yeah, man, it was Fishman and Eyeball Hand Man.
And don't forget other fishman. There was other fishman there too.
You're lying in such a huge pile of trash they didn't even see you there. You push your head through.
Other fishman.
2 fishmen.
And I think Mac Tonight. I think it was also Mac Tonight. You know, Moon McDonald, man.
Did that help, officer?
No, but we're definitely taking all your tents.
Okay. My memory of Mac Tonight is we had one at the bottom of our toy box, me and my brother, just like a solid plastic. One of us got out of a few Happy Meals we ever would have ate as children. It was part of the flotsam that every good toy box has.
Every good toy box has to have a couple Happy Meals toys in it.
Yeah, it just broken parts off other shit.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. Like the weird Ninja Turtle weapons that they don't actually use on the show. It's just like looks like an arrowhead with a suitcase handle on the bottom of it. And you're like, what even is this? Why is this here?
This isn't cartoon canon.
Yeah, this isn't real. Even back then, I was a fucking nerd about it. This isn't a thing. Just something to chew on.
Like in the cartoon, you never saw He-Man using his axe.
Oh, is that just
He-Man comes with a sword and an axe and a shield, but it was just I don't know why that. I think axe is maybe a little more aggressive and violent for little kids.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So the episode begins with Moonface McDonald's Mac Tonight.
Moonface McDonald's.
That's a 1920s gangster. Babyface Thompson and Moonface McDonald robbed yet another liquor store.
just this robber with a fucking fedora and a perfectly round face.
Little rosy cheeks. He just hates how he looks. Look, and he's trying to grow a beard.
Wasn't that actually the case with Babyface Nelson? Didn't he hate that? Yep. Fucking nickname?
Yeah, I think if like anyone would say anything about it, he'd like fucking shoot at their feet and shit, you know, like.
Yeah, because they make that joke in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" when he shows up.
Yeah, I think some of those guys, they were just, you know, fucking. They were like career-minded criminals, but he was also a little unhinged, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So the song, what Mac Tonight? Hey, we're getting it. It's
Moonface McDonald. Yep.
Moonface McDonald. Yeah.
Doug Jones, I think. Fishman.
Retconning.
Fishman is singing at the piano
about Mr. Burns. So that is a good sign.
Yes, it is.
So we get I think first it starts with his chef bringing him a raisin that they've ironed the wrinkles out of.
Insane.
And he cuts it with a knife and fork, and he claims that the raisin cuts his mouth. And they promptly release the hounds upon this poor chef. So we get Mr. Burns hungrily roaming the halls of the power plant looking for food, wants something with some sustenance, something that'll stick to his ribs. And happens to stumble upon Homer walking up with a bag from Krusty Burger, which Burns just promptly steals the burger out of his hand, puts the paper in Homer's mouth, which is so demeaning. And he fucking loves the burger.
When he's holding that burger and he starts salivating and you see him start to drool, and just that quarter cup of drool that comes out of his mouth causes his whole body to shrivel up. God,
like an old corpse.
Yeah, there's a couple good Feeble Burns jokes in this bit. That was one of them.
Yeah. And Burns loves it so much he just begins crushing tons of Krusty Burger, which is an awesome thing to do when you're a World War I vet in 2021. So fucking Burns is fucking... And I think Smithers is like, hey, maybe you should slow down. Of course, Burns is like pish posh. Until he actually keels over from a heart attack. And man, yeah, we get so much good Feeble Burns during these first few minutes.
So good.
Yeah.
When Smithers is telling him, like, hey, man, you gotta rein it in on those burgers. He's like, Burns, like, tells him to go fuck off or whatever he does. And Smithers is like, but you've almost doubled your weight. And Burns steps on that scale and it reads 42 pounds. And Smithers alarmingly goes, tripled. It's so
ridiculous.
Funny. So Burns is walking around. Weight is what, 14 pounds or something?
That's so insane.
Shit.
So while he's convalescing, he realizes that there are people outside cheering for his death, which that's a sign you've lived a troubled life. So I love, this is a thing that comes up occasionally where he gets sad because no one loves him. It's like, you're the worst human ever. Like, of course no one loves you.
This is one of my favorite types of Burns things, is Burns wants people to like him.
Yeah. So, and it's not only that no one likes him, he has no legacy that will be beloved. Like, he has no, oh, look what he did type thing. And the double whammy is also his doctor lets him know, hey, bro, you cannot eat meat anymore because it's going to kill you. And it works out pretty nicely because to solve both of these problems, Smithers has Professor Frank develop the best tasting plant-based burger, which Burns tries skeptically and loves.
Yeah. Where do you stand on a fake meat? You fuck with any fake meat? Or have you at least tried some fake meats?
You know, I've tried some and it just tastes like it's not like spitting out icky and wiping a napkin on my tongue like a little kid. But like, you know,
although it would be great if it was.
Just pushing it off the table.
You in a Burger King just pushing an Impossible Whopper off the table? Icky.
No.
Yuck.
Just pushing the tray with everyone else's food on it too, right off the table. But I'm like, boy, this tastes like a not so good burger, but it's fine. I could eat it in a pinch,
Yeah.
So how about you?
I think the Beyond and the Impossible, both branded meats, are fine. They're perfectly fine, especially like the hot dogs, because hot dogs are just a fucking vehicle to eat sauerkraut and relish,
Yeah.
Same with the burgers. Like, I've had just out of curiosity, the Impossible Whopper at Burger King, and it's like, yeah, this is perfectly fine. Like this tastes just like a regular Whopper, because a regular Whopper doesn't fucking taste good either, Like, it's not like they're using fucking Wagyu beef at fucking Burger King.
On the subject of hot dogs, this perhaps a hot take alert. I don't want a good hot dog. Oh, we got 100% all beef. If I had I'll just have a hamburger. Like, I want fucking Oscar Mayer possum entrail fucking hot dogs.
Yeah, you want rat tail dog.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's the familiar flavor that I enjoy with a hot dog.
Like, I will eat any manner of hot dog, but if I'm at the store buying hot dogs, I buy beef hot dogs every time. Like, which, boy, I bet it's been 20 years since I bought a fucking hot dog. Like,
oh no shit!
To cook at home. Like, I'll buy a hot dog if I'm out somewhere.
At a ball game?
Yeah, well, I haven't been to a ball game in a long fucking time, but were I to venture out to the ball game, yes, I would have a hot dog.
Or like from a street vendor hot dog can really hit the spot sometimes.
Oh, man, like that fucking, what's that one downtown here in Fargo?
Yeah. It might just be Fargo Dog. At least that's what one of them is.
Bomb Dog, that's the
Bomb
one I'm
Dog, there
thinking
you go.
of.
Yeah.
God,
usually...
damn.
When you're eating from them, you're 0.20 drunk too, and you haven't ate anything in 11 hours. So
makes it all the better.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I like a hot dog, and it's mustard, and if I have a fairly obnoxious choice of toppings, we're going mustard, raw onion, relish, and sauerkraut.
Look at you go! You're getting your money's worth. You know what I'm putting on?
Ketchup.
Mustard, ketchup. End of sentence.
You can finish the rest of the list here. I'm listening.
Yeah, that is it, baby.
No,
I'm halfway through my dog.
What are the rest of the bullet points?
Yeah.
No, you can use the whole sheet of paper. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I will. Oh man, I will take a little kraut if it's there, just to church it up a little bit. But it's definitely, if it's out of the way at all, I'm just nope. Ketchup and mustard's fine. Really? I'm not an onion boy, so that's off there. And the right relish, but for me, not all relishes are created equal. So some I'm like icky.
You want
wrong relish could ruin a dog for me.
Are you hoping for a dill or a sweet?
Fuck. Man, probably more of a sweet, but it can be. I'm goddamn fucking Little Red Riding Hood when it comes to my. Or Goldilocks, pardon me. I'm getting my... Because it can be too sweet, but it can be too sweet. It has to be right in the middle for old mate. This one's too sweet. Throwing the whole dog in the garbage. Not sweet enough.
Not breaking eye contact with the street dog vendor, just throwing it in the garbage and going, just try again.
Softly lobbing it at his chest. Just like hitting him and falling. I need another.
Boy, you want to have a street meat vendor kick the dog shit out of you.
Just putting the boots to me as I'm eating the hot dog. This one's good.
I like this one.
Stop hurting me.
Fucking throw a hot dog at me, you little bitch. Just fucking stomping you.
Does this seem a little late to the let's talk about fake meat at restaurants like storyline?
Yes, but I don't think it's any later than the Simpsons usually are to anything. Yeah. So
I agree with that.
Because this is what, 2021? Like, I'm pretty sure Burger King was doing Impossible Whoppers by like 2018 or some shit.
It's definitely pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2018, 2019. But
yeah. But it's
my God, they got there.
This ends up, I think, being a really good idea for an episode with what they do with it.
So they eventually launch a chain of these fake meat restaurants, which they call the Excellent Burger.
Yep.
And they fucking hire Homer as their kind of like regular Joe man on the street mascot, kind of the talking head of Excellent Burgers. Because I bet that's a thing
with a toolbox. Yep.
And I bet that's a thing that they had to like all those companies that did like, oh, we gotta like get over this, you know, like people perceiving us as just being for soccer, foo-foo yoga instructors and shit, you know, like everyone can enjoy this shit. Like,
yeah, that's a hard thing to turn around. Like, electric cars are still fighting the same battle, you know?
Yeah.
There's like a wuss factor to not eating meat. I remember being a kid and being called something that rhymes with maggot because I was caught drinking a Diet Coke once.
I could see that. Yeah. It was the 90s. It was a different time.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have since got a hold of you and apologized.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a very nice fruit basket.
It was in the paper.
It was...
Holy shit, in your hometown newspaper, like in the spot where someone usually rents, like, hey, happy 40 years at the electric co-op, Gladys. Great, we love seeing your face when we walk in. Hey, Marlon, in 1996, I made a rather unsavory comment about you drinking a Diet Cola. My bad, bro. And like a picture of him and his wife and his 3 kids now.
Oh, shit. That would, I mean, it would make news back home with what passes for fucking news in a small town newspaper.
My God. That might be second page. I don't know if the cover, but
it's if it is on the front page, it's below the fold for sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in our B story, which feels way more up to date. While folding clothes, Marge accidentally buys 1,000 shares of Excellent Burger stock, because this was around the time Robin Hood was blowing up, and people could buy stocks with just a couple finger strikes.
And around about the GameStop fiasco, or would that come a little later?
Nope, that'd be peak COVID. We're all in our house and bored shitless. Let's blow up these stocks.
Yeah.
Did you ever get in on that?
No, I thought about it, but no, I didn't. And
I got in.
By the time I decided, like, maybe I should do that, then it was when, like, Robin Hood, like, shut it all down and was like, no, you guys can't buy this stock anymore, which was like, how fucking threadbare are you laying everything that this is so rigged, you fuckheads?
Wait a second. Rich people are losing money? We can't allow that.
Yeah. Oh, 4 different hedge funds lost $30 billion each.
Yeah.
by no one doing anything wrong, so you just decided to shut it off? Fuck you.
Your boy did pretty good on. I got on an AMC early enough that I was able to make some money, but GameStop I was day late, dollar short.
Oh yeah, you got that AMC stock flipped though, huh?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Old Hollywood here, fucking playing the stock market.
Able to buy groceries another week.
Yeah, we're keeping the lights on, baby. No more stealing kerosene from the church next door.
We lay the track as the trade's coming around here.
Keeps us on our toes. So because of this accidental purchase, now Marge is just obsessed with the hourly rise and fall of the stock of Excellent Burger. Which early on, it looks like Marge made a shrewd investment because they are a hit, and they're popping up everywhere and taking business away from the old burger chains, Krusty Burger in particular. We get some good gigs of Krusty, of course, running the worst restaurant in America.
Yep, and like trying to pander to the LGBTQ crowd so hard, and it blowing up in his face. Krusty's on hard times.
I love pathetic, like how Krusty just openly weeps. Like, he's just such a sad, pathetic man.
They have that slow motion shot of him trying to spin the arrow, but he drops it, and then when he goes to bend to pick it up, his pants split, and then he stands up and his pants fall down. Like, Jesus.
He's struggling. And Bart witnesses all this, and he feels bad, so he decides, by God, I'm going to do Krusty a solid and do my best to ruin Burns' business. Him, Lisa, and Milhouse, I believe, go to investigate the Excellent Burger factory, where we get the Stranger Things kids and music for some reason. Like they ride by on their bikes.
And so does the monster, whatever that thing is called.
And then like 2 minutes later, they ride by again, and all of them are in the monster's mouth.
Yeah, and the bikes have no riders. They just coast and the music plays. Beats me, man. I've never seen that fucking show.
But I mean, it's just like, that's a TV show. End of no joke. It's like
there's a different show where kids also ride bicycles. Is that the whole reference we're supposed to get?
It's like someone's mom poking their head into their kid's bedroom and they're listening to rap music, and she just goes, "A beep boppity boop ba-doo boop ba-doop." Lunch is in 3 minutes, kids. That's like it's just so like, look at me, I know things exist. We're having fun.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, and so they're looking at the burger factory because Bart has a theory that the burgers actually contain meat, and that's why they taste good. And they go in and look, and by God, Bart is wrong. They do not contain meat. But what we do find out is that the burgers are made from critically endangered Amazonian plants. Because why? Because Burns is a monster. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. And Lisa's the one that does all the research to find this out. So she is obviously, Lisa. She is heartbroken about this, but she, for some fucking insane reason, still thinks that Burns has turned over a new leaf, which I kind of get, though, because she finally has a quality vegetarian product she can go to. So she's all about, fucking waving the flag of vegetarianism. So probably hard to turn her back on what she thinks is an ally in that fight. So she goes to inform Burns about this, but he refuses to listen, which is also pretty funny. Like, just a grown man avoiding a child talking to him.
And like, he tries to walk away from her, but she can walk faster than him. So he gets in his car and starts driving, but she can walk faster than his old car.
Because, he drives a car that's 105 years old.
And gets back to his mansion, and she's waiting there for him. Like, that's a good stretch of jokes.
The hounds like her.
Yeah. He tries to release the hounds and she's petting them.
Yeah, that was a good visual.
Yeah.
So Lisa, realizing that Burns is not going to do anything about this, she goes to her folks, but Marge refuses to help because she's tied up. She's financially invested in the excellent burger stock. Yeah. I love when Marge can't do the right thing. Because it happens occasionally.
Yep. Bad Marge doesn't happen very often. But when she's like, but Lisa, what about the stockholders? And Lisa is so rattled by that phrase. She's like, ick. Like, she's got her tongue out.
And Homer doesn't want to because he doesn't want to upset Mr. Burns. Because Mr. Burns is keeping the lights on in the Simpson household.
Yeah.
But that night, Homer is visited by all sorts of different fast food mascots who accuse him of being a sellout because, we've given you so much joy, Homer, and this is how you repay us. We get, like, Mayor McCheese, we get Wendy, we get...
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. And the names are all different because they can't legally say them.
Yeah, it's like Mayor Cheesehead and Jack in the Bag, I think he calls them. You ever
at one point,
I don't think I've ever had Jack in the Box. You ever had Jack in the Box?
Once or twice.
Because we ain't got it here.
No, when I lived in Nashville, they had just opened up the first one. I went to a couple of... I remember it being fine.
Yeah, I've always heard it's like good trash. Like, this is garbage, but it's pretty good garbage.
The one random memory that sticks in my head is like they're, I think, primarily a burger and fry place. Someone right now is screaming at their device because I'm wrong. But I always remember it's like burgers, chicken sandwich, French fries, and then also taco. You can just get a taco. That's always been a thing.
I know that's part of their appeal is they have some wackadoo shit. Like you can get a burger and fries and some chicken nuggets and egg rolls, just weirdo off the wall shit. I've always heard their tacos are good, real this is the worst taco I've ever had in my life. I think
you're right.
And it's good.
It's like their menu was designed by a stoner.
Yeah. Yep.
Egg rolls. Yeah, get egg rolls. It's like, I bet working in that kitchen is a fucking war zone.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's like,
there's no way.
Like, that's got to be even worse than like a diner that serves breakfast all day. Like, what do you mean it's 4 p.m.? I got to make this dickhead hash browns. Like, no.
But put that away. It's gone.
What? Everything has to be on standby all the time? I don't know how hot a take it is. I love egg rolls. I will eat 18 egg rolls.
You get the right one, they're pretty fucking tasty.
Just pork and cabbage. And
it's a good combo.
Some sweet and sour for dip.
Get the right sweet and sour. That is a fucking tasty treat.
Yeah.
So Homer now, he's full of vigor. He wants to do the right thing, and he goes to, I think it's the opening of a new excellent burger joint.
It's the rollout. It's their national rollout because they had the one in Springfield and it was a success. So now this is the kickoff of the national Excellent Burgers.
Oh, you're right. And Homer, as an employee of Excellent Burger, has to address the media because he's kind of the face of the franchise. And he is reminded of the non-disclosure agreement he has signed. But in a level of kind of cleverness I did not think Homer would have, he just answers all the questions using Excellent Burger catchphrases to let everyone know how shady Excellent Burger is.
Yeah, he doesn't break the rules. He uses all the appropriate catchphrases.
Yeah. The crowd instantly turns on Excellent Burger and Mr. Burns. They believe, this paid pitchman said a bad thing, so I guess it's true. Let's burn this shit to the ground.
Zero loyalty, the Springfield crowds.
And in the B Street, we find out that Marge sold the stock just before everything went tits up and pocketed a cool $1,000, which, am I wrong? Does she kind of just keep that to herself?
She, I think mentions it under her breath.
Yeah.
Like Lisa comes up and is like, I'm sorry, Mom, but we had to do the right thing. And her being kind of saying, under her breath to herself, being like, that's fine. I sold it all when I saw that this was going to go, saw what you guys were going to do and pocketed the money. Yeah. It's fine.
Which, good for Marge.
Good for Marge.
Yeah.
Insider trading is allegedly a crime, but whatever.
Every once in a while, the poor people need to get in on it.
Exactly.
And then while leaving the scene in their car in the Duesenberg, whatever it is, Smithers right away is kind of sad, but then he realizes that fucking Burns is happy about all this.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, this is like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to be a good person anymore. I can just go back to being evil. And that's pretty much it. Everything's right in Springfield.
Yep. He's relieved to be able to just go back to being evil again.
Yeah. What were your thoughts? I bet this was up your alley.
Oh, yeah. I like this one quite a bit. Lots of good, vegetarian and meatless meat jokes, and just a goddamn Burns episode, man. And like I said, I love when they take this approach of Burns wants people to like him and doesn't understand why they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this quite a bit. You?
Yep, I put it above average. Good, not great, but good. Very good.
Earlier when the first Excellent Burger is a big success and Burns pops open that bottle of champagne, or Smithers brings Burns a glass of champagne and he accidentally inhales one champagne bubble and floats to the ceiling like a helium balloon.
Yeah,
and then
so
Smithers
good.
finally gets him down and he's wasted.
Yeah. The Simpsons are in this rarefied territory that they've had so many episodes that a fairly unique premise, such as Mr. Burns is probably the 10th most used character on this show. Mm-hmm. And we've had 4 to 5 episodes with this premise that Mr. Burns wants people to like him. That's it.
Yeah.
We've had so many different episodes. They've had that many times to write this story.
Yeah, but they have so many other characters also that they can at least space these apart enough to where you never get sick of them,
Yeah, exactly.
5 seasons from now, they could do another Burns wants everybody to like him one, because they've done 11 of each other type of episode they do in between there.
If you ask our opinion, they could do far more episodes of with side characters being the main focus.
100%. Or just give me a Burns spin-off. Give me The Office, but at the power plant. Except make it good, so not like The Office.
Robin Big, but Burns and Smithers.
Sure, totally. Whatever you want to do. More Burns.
More Burns, please.
Let's see what episode 19 has for us. Panic on the Streets of Springfield. Homer's got low T, Nathan. He needs more tea. He doesn't have enough T's.
T's down, hose up.
Well, while you motherfuckers bounce to this.
And what happens that leads him to get checked for that?
It's just his yearly physical.
Okay.
He's got low T. He needs more tea, it turns out.
He's a man of a certain age.
Yeah. Last time I got my tea checked, my tea's totally fine. I'm totally fine on the tea. I wish I had more tea, frankly.
But get all the tea. Well, you got to get on the pills that Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
And Doug Flutie.
Yeah. I always loved those commercials. Oh, do you mean Frank Thomas? Baseball's the Big Hurt? No.
As if people need that extra part.
Yeah. Frank Thomas, very good baseball player. It's not like the Big Hurt is synonymous. It's not like it's Magic Johnson.
Right. Yeah.
It's like if people say Frank Thomas, they know who you mean if they follow baseball. Baseball's the Big Hurt? I mean, to be fair, the Big Hurt, very good sports nickname.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. The Big Hurt is the Big Hurt is a good name for a lot of things. Yeah. Sports stars, monster trucks, your
dick.
Penis. You ever think maybe we spend too much time together, Nathan, you and I?
Yeah. You're a parole officer. You're a masseuse.
Your vagina, if you're a lady listener. Also a good name, the Big Hurt. But man, those ads run a lot during wrestling. Boy, do you see those ads a lot. If
their audience.
Yeah, they know. Like, hey, tubby men, do you think maybe a little kickstart would get you off the couch a little bit?
If you want a pick-me-up about how your body looks as a man, go to a local wrestling show. There are some heartbreaking physiques waddling around in that place.
Yeah, a lot of teardrop hams at a local wrestling show.
A lot of human turnbuckles waddling around.
Oof, human turnbuckle's an unfortunate nickname. That's the opposite of the Big Hurt.
Yeah. If George the Animal Steel ate that dude, he'd get diabetes.
Going to a local wrestling show is a good self-esteem pickup in a few different ways, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. 3 buddies going in on a t-shirt together.
I get it Monday, Tuesday. You get it Wednesday, Thursday. And alternating 3-day weekends.
Hashing out hoodie custody. But we go to my parents' lake place that weekend.
Time sharing a t-shirt. So Homer's got that low T, and the Dr. Hibbert, who, by the way, I don't know if this is the first time we hear it or just the first time I noticed it, but we got a new voice actor for Dr. Hibbert for sure.
My first note as well. You can tell Hibbert has a new voice actor.
Yeah, like it's close, but it's noticeable, but it is very close. Yeah. So he's going to put Homer on some T-pills, but first Homer has to watch this informational video about this drug he's going to put him on, and there's an ad at the front of it, because of course there fucking is. There's an ad in front of every video that exists on the internet, and that ad is for the XXL Roadmaster 550, which is a great big pickup truck.
Are you not were you kind of slightly bummed that it wasn't somehow tied in with the Canyon Arrow?
I wanted it to be a Canyon Arrow product, yep.
Yeah, like, why? You have that that's an iconic part of Simpsons lore.
Yep, I was waiting for the reveal of the make and model name, because I expected it to be the Canyonero fuck 'em up or whatever it is, you know, like whatever dumb name they've made for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a wasted opportunity.
I think if you own it's like a mid-90s Jeep Grand Cherokee, I believe is the one that they make like body mod parts to make it into a Canyonero.
Oh, and badging. Yep, yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah, if you have a red 1996 Jeep Grand Cherokee, you can for like $1,000, you could make that into a That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. So Homer doesn't bother watching the video about the medication. He stops at the end of that ad and is just like, yep, that's what I need, and goes running out and buys himself this huge fucking pickup and just whipping shitties on his own lawn. And I died laughing when he comes sliding into his lawn and pokes his head out the window and yells to Marge, "Look what the doctor made me get." It is so
that is
funny.
A good line.
That's a good line.
And the beauty of it, Homer is the pickup truck owner that every big city Prius owner thinks of when they think of pickup, like some suburban dipshit that never uses it for anything but just wants a giant, because when people dunk on pickup owners, like, as you grew up too, like we grew up in a world where pickup trucks are, for most men, a necessity for the work that they do.
Yeah.
Like,
they can't do the work that they do in a Civic, you know?
Yeah, right. Try fit a square bale into a Civic.
You're going to make a fucking mess.
Put a sick calf in the back of a Civic. Holy shit. Highway patrolman pulls that car over. He takes a quick and just nods and walks back to his patrol car.
You go on now. Yeah.
You're doing something, all right. It fucking, I haven't lived on the farm in a while, but I can sure smell the scours.
I know a scoury Toyota when I see one.
Holy fuck.
No, Honda makes the Civic.
Bringing that into a goddamn detail shop after that excursion. Well, I think I can get away with just getting the intro package. There's an inch of standing fucking cow shit water in the back. That'll vacuum up, right?
You got a wet vac, right? That's fine. It's fine. That'll pull that right
fine.
up. Yeah. I mean, we can try once you take the goddamn calf out of there.
Yeah, the calf. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's right. I was going to stop at the vet first.
We got to get to the county fair quick. You're cleaning up your calf with wet naps. Putting a bow on its head. Okay, biscuits. We've trained for this.
Get out there and dazzle. I'm still just covered in fucking chartreuse bovine diarrhea.
It's trying to ride a tricycle. It's the talent part of the competition.
You're over there jamming a cassette into the boombox. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello,
I was thinking that early 90s, like, y'all ready for this?
Fucking jock jams.
You're in the Civic flashing your brights back and forth. The calf tips over from dehydration.
I didn't have time to set up the pyro, but I think Biscuits is going to do just fine.
You turn your back, the fucking judges are doing CPR on a calf. It wouldn't drink the Gatorade.
Oh, God.
Watching someone feed a calf a 32-ounce Arctic Blast Powerade would be such a sight.
Come on, Biscuits, you're sick. This will help.
All of this at a fucking gas station. Good girl. Having a calf shit scours into your lap as you're feeding it a Powerade. The joys of animal husbandry.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. That's a good girl.
You're trying to light sparklers in a panic.
Oh, shit. So Homer's got this fucking pickup. You ever a pickup guy? You know, that life ever appeal to you? Buy yourself a pickup?
If I had the money, but I haven't
be a
ever.
pickup boy?
My first vehicle is a pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't since then. And I wanted my second vehicle to be a pickup, but my dad had a coworker that was selling a car. I remember my dad, like, listen to me as hard as you can. Like, you're never going to get a better deal than this. Go buy that fucking car tonight. And I did. And I've been a car boy ever since. Not even an SUV. I've never owned an SUV.
Yeah, I've always thought that, well, I was about to say I've always thought that's strange, but I know you well enough. Yeah, you're a sedan man. You strike me as a sedan man, so.
If, as a homeowner, there are many a time where a pickup would be nice.
Yeah. Just
but as a
gotta haul some shit. Gotta go to Home Depot.
Yep. Or that's a good. Me junk collecting. That's a very good deal on a new kitchen table. But how the fuck do you fit that into a Mercury Sable?
Or curb shopping on Trash Week.
Oh boy, curb shopping year round.
Man, maybe it's good you don't have a pickup. How full of shit would your house
I'll
be?
be fucking Sanford and Son it out of my garage at all times. Park it in the yard because the garage is full of treasures.
Bebopping that fucking song to yourself as you're throwing a fucking non-functioning rolling desk chair into the back of your pickup. Just hawking it. Not even trying to be careful. It's already broken. Why would I worry about it?
Like those delusional dipshits on fucking Storage Wars. Like, that's a $30 bill every day. That thing is worth 75 cents. And you're burning $7 of gas to get it home.
Oh, shit.
Look at me with hot takes on the cast of Storage Wars.
Yeah, coming at the Storage Wars people pretty hard.
16-year-old fucking basic cable reality show.
The show even on the air anymore?
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe that stalwart is still.
How?
Because money owns this town.
Oh, boy.
That's the theme song.
Oh, God. I suspected it was, but then it somehow became worse once you confirmed it. Lisa, not a fan of this pickup, obviously. This goes against everything Lisa stands for, except she gets excited that it has Slapify, which is their music streaming service. Again, feels a little late.
Yeah, good point. I didn't put two and together, but now you say that, like,
Spotify been a thing a long time by this point. Yeah.
2016? You think it was getting pretty commonplace?
I bet it was before that even.
Really? I mean, me, I'm such a tight ass. I was real late to the party, but yeah, you are right. Do you have any friends that are still fighting the good fight for Pandora?
I don't anymore, but it wasn't that horribly long ago. I had a Pandora monthly subscription, like a fucking the ads Pandora subscription. Oh, you know what it was? I got it in like late 2020, early 2021 because Chad Daniels' new album came out exclusively on Pandora, and I wanted to hear the new Chad Daniels album. So I got a subscription and then meant to cancel it, but forgot for 6 months. So I had Pandora for a while there. I have a couple friends that were really behind Pandora. Pandora, I'll give Pandora this. If you sit for an afternoon and really babysit a new channel that you've created, Pandora's algorithm is miles ahead of everybody else's. As far as like, we've made this station for you, and it's only stuff that you like that sounds like this other stuff. And they'll get into deep cuts. You'll discover artists you've never fucking heard of. Spotify is garbage. Like their shuffle algorithm is trash. Like, you can babysit and curate that thing all you want. It's still, if you put in, okay, I want to start a playlist from Spotify and I want to have Rob Zombie and Tool and Marilyn Manson as my 3 seed artists, it will play you a Nickelback song within 5 minutes. Like, it just doesn't know. Like, Spotify's algorithm isn't nearly as good.
If you like the Beach Boys, you will love the Beastie Boys.
Right. Yeah. Like, Spotify is trash for that. Like, in a perfect world, you just have both. You have Pandora when you're on shuffle, and you have Spotify for when you know what you want.
Man, if I ever met someone out there on the streets and they were still fucking standing for Tidal, I'd buy them a drink. That's commitment. That is staying on the ship as it sinks.
Yeah.
Tidal tried hard. They really went hard. Right, all those big names attached to it.
Yeah. Tidal ended up pivoting to, like, last I knew anyway, Tidal's big thing was like, hey, come over here and you can download any audio format you want, not just MP3s. Like, if you're a big audio snob, you can get FLAC files over here if you want. We got that FLAC file, you know.
Oh, interesting. That's who they're going.
Real primo, lossless, perfect audio is the pivot that Tidal made. I think that's the only fucking reason they're still around.
Do you think, because I put together an early 90s country playlist on Spotify, and I really dug deep, and then I was reminded Garth Brooks ain't on Spotify.
Right, yeah.
Is he the last big hitter?
Yeah,
What's that?
Or anywhere else. Yeah, he's not.
Well, he was a Tidal guy, but then, that didn't make it, so then he just took all his music off.
I think he is, like, part owner of a separate service, because if you go to a Garth Brooks show, I went to a Garth Brooks show 5 years ago, maybe, and like the entire pre-show, like while the lights are still up, like, people are still filing in, is just a big logo on the screen for something called Ghost Tunes, which is some streaming service that I think he's a majority shareholder of.
That basically is just Garth Brooks music.
Yeah, exactly. I would wager 99% of Ghost Tunes users are Garth Brooks fans.
Yeah.
Because, like, his legal team is even fucking Johnny on the spot when it comes to YouTube. They fucking look for a Garth Brooks song on YouTube.
Yep. It ain't going to last long. It'll be off there quick.
Yeah, doesn't exist. You're getting sad. You're getting fucking JV covers of Garth Brooks songs if you're on YouTube.
What I find interesting with Spotify is when rando shit isn't on there. Like, there was just one random mid-90s Mark Chestnut album that just wasn't there. The one prior was, and then the one after was. Why did that one just slip through, Like,
different label maybe, or different songwriters that they couldn't come to agreements with. I bet those contracts are nightmarish.
Yeah. I think of all my searching, I think there were 5 songs I couldn't find. And I was surprised that there was... I was wondering, besides Garth Brooks, I bet I can find everything, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah, I have some obscure enough music tastes where I run into trouble sometimes. Or sometimes, like, I really want this one song, but it was only on a soundtrack, and they don't have that.
The soundtrack ones get real tricky.
Yeah, which sucks, because sometimes a soundtrack is the only place a good song from a band you like ended up.
Yep. Every good Filter song is started on a soundtrack.
I love Filter, so I can't follow you there, but I know what you mean. Yep.
They were a very soundtrack-heavy band.
Yeah. So Lisa, hyped as hell for Slapify, and she starts going through and thumbs downing music because Lisa doesn't like popular music, and she is eventually led by the algorithm to Quillowbee, which I think is supposed to be Morrissey.
Absolutely.
But I don't know anything about Morrissey.
My notes are, dang, we're now up to that Morrissey episode. Because I remember this being in the news.
Oh, really? In what capacity?
Because he was bitching about how he's portrayed in it and stuff. And music dorks really getting a kick out of an episode where Lisa discovers the Smiths.
I've never heard a Smiths song or a Morrissey song. This is so far outside of my... And, like, I like to think I know more than the average bear about music, but boy, do I not know shit about this.
I bet if you were to listen to the Smiths' greatest hits, there'd be like maybe not even a whole song you'd recognize, but a couple like guitar riffs that you would have heard sampled somewhere or in the background of something. Like they have a kind of couple iconic like guitar parts. Like
okay. And it's largely kind of what Quillaby is in this episode, right? Where it's just kind of sad music for sad girls. Is that okay?
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think who else you would compare him. I don't know if it'd be kind of shoegazy, but like Morrissey in his prime was kind of a an electric front man, like
okay, and
like he was like like sad '80s teens really glommed onto him, and I have no clue what happened because I mean they were never commercially big in the States. I think they were in the UK, but he must have left that band near their kind of commercial peak because he was a solo artist by like 89 or 90.
Okay.
And he had like a handful of albums that were really well received as a solo artist too. Like, yeah, there are people that like Morrissey is their favorite music thing.
Oh yeah. Like there are people with Morrissey tattoos for sure.
Oh, yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I just no idea. Complete.
I could put together.
Spot.
Yeah. I have not listened to many of the albums all the way through, but I could put together 10 Smith/Morrissey songs that I like. But it's not
really?
Yeah. I got their greatest hits through BMG once by accident, and usually I would always just put return to sender and throw it back in the mailbox, but for some reason I was just intrigued enough, okay, I need to buy one anyhow per my contractual agreement. I'll buy this one, and then I was like, you know what? I don't need to listen to this all the time, but it's got some interesting songs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
tough to.
You should make that 10-track list and send it to me. I would like. Ooh,
that could be fun.
I would like to give it a taste.
I like curating.
Yeah, I love making mixtapes. Like I don't like that movie High Fidelity, but John Cusack does have it right in that movie where he talks about how there's an art to making a mixtape. There really is.
Yeah. You can't just mush all the songs together. You got to put some thought into what order they go in.
Exactly. You got to fucking have peaks and valleys. You got to takes work. God damn it.
Yeah.
So Lisa immediately head over heels over Quillaby. Quillaby, by the way, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, which I thought was good casting. That's fun.
Oh, good pull. I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Also, I was about to say, I didn't really realize it until the end credits. Like, good on him. That's pretty good voice acting for an extremely well-known actor.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking more of. Like, fuck, I didn't even begin to think that could be someone famous.
No, me neither. Just one of these regular old Simpsons voice actors doing a British accent, but no. Benedict Cumberbatch. Lisa, all full of fucking Quillaby because he like sings songs about vegetarianism and sadness.
Yeah, because that's Morrissey 30 years strong of being a vegan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think like they either have an album or he has a solo album called Meat is Murder, which like in 1989 was, weren't seeing a lot of that around, like.
Oh, okay.
Which that gets the party started, the Meat is Murder album.
Yeah, something to throw on while you're trying to hump.
Funny they never opened for Warrant.
Or Slaughter. It makes like.
Oh my goodness, the pairing.
Lisa tries to make Mushroom Monday a thing at her school with mushroom tacos, but fucking Doris Lunch Lady put fucking bacon in it because she misunderstood the assignment. And now Lisa, whether it's from the meat or being so immersed in the music, is just hallucinating Quillaby. He's like an imaginary friend with her for the rest of this episode. And he's so fucking insufferable.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's clever, but he fucking hates everything. He's so goddamn snarky.
So better than everything.
Yeah. That song that they play, that everyone is horrid but me, is so good.
I liked it. That's in my note is song kind of slaps. No ?
Yeah, I would listen to that song. And
that's the Smiths right there. That's the Smiths song.
Okay,
like, yeah,
well
that's their sound pretty good.
I look forward to your mixtape you're making me.
Yeah.
He proves himself useful though, like Bart comes in with Nelson and Milhouse and tries to bully Lisa, and Quilloughby gives her some ammo to just destroy Bart.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cutting deep.
Like, what is it? Your friends are slowly getting tired of you. And
yeah, you're tiring of your antics or something.
Oh my God. And like, it's clearly true, but Milhouse and Nelson are just like, no, we're not. I think it's Nelson is like, no, I could never tire of your pranks. Fresh as ever. Like,
and like looking at Milhouse and nodding.
Yeah, like the knowing glances between the two of them. Quilloughby, just a fucking bummer. He's a bad influence on nice Lisa. Lisa's a nice girl, and now she is, my note says here, and now Lisa is a snarky bitch, which she is.
Yeah.
Starts dressing, she's got like that fucking army jacket, and her hair is like swooped back all different, and a black choker.
This is accentuating all the worst aspects of Lisa's personality. Like
100%.
I'm better than you. Like,
yeah, which she has in her, but boy, does this bring it out. Marge can't take any more of this shit. Finally shuts off the Slapify account. But Lisa got a way around this, got a workaround. Gonna go to a Quilloughby show. He's doing like a long-awaited show because he's become a recluse for the last 30 years or something like that, and is going to be headlining one of these great big festivals. So steals Homer's credit card, buys herself 2 VIP pass tickets to this show, gets on a bus, and takes off. In the meantime, we've gotten like awfully light on the B story, Homer owning a pickup.
God, yeah, you're right.
We just get some occasional shots of him doing big dumb pickup truck stuff, like going and getting a load of gravel for no reason, or like him and Bart like bombing through the fucking trails in this fucking pickup.
Paying for the gravel to be unshoveled from the back of the pickup, and it cost $1,000.
So good. Marge finally flips out because Homer has like thought he's been trying to shoehorn this pickup into every conversation and it being the solution to every problem that comes up. And finally Marge fucking loses it, flips out on Homer, is like, you are not a truck guy. First off, not a fan of when people call a pickup a truck, but I get it. These fucking hillbillies.
I can tell city living has slowly eroded that.
No, Nathan, no.
Yep. I mean, if I'm still like, I'll still in my head, I think pickup, but I'll catch myself saying truck.
Oh, no.
The one thing I can never cross is when someone refers to a full-size SUV as a truck.
Oh, like, I've never heard that.
Oh, bro, that's a thing. That is a thing.
No. Nope.
And I mean, I bet I have heard it 50 times in my life, to the point 99% of people will nod in agreement.
No.
Yeah. I guarantee you pick up on it sometime in the next couple months. It happens that often. Like,
I get that it seems weird to call it a car and SUV is too unwieldy, but you can't just adopt a word that is something different.
Yeah. SUV works just fine. They can use it. Yep.
Yeah. It's 3 simple syllables. You can do it.
Or just the model. Take the Tahoe. Take the Suburban.
Yeah. Mine's a little wordy.
What about that little mouth of yours? Gonna make a chunk of change online.
Yeah, all the patty melt porno I'm gonna be making.
This popsicle's oh so big.
Oh no, popsicle too big.
What kind of maniacs are paying for that content? You with the handle of a popsicle in a bench vise and shoving your own head down on it. Oh, no. It's so cold. My teeth. There's a little bow on the top of your head.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's fucking terrifying.
Can't explain it, but this Miss Pac-Man dude's fucking getting me all riled up.
Getting me going. Oh, God. Whew. This enormous anime girl is awakening things. Oh no.
Oh, well, that's a real kick to the gut when you fucking they assume you're a chick. Oh boy. What do I got to do to turn this around? Stop sucking on popsicles for a living.
Stop doing this on the internet, first of all. Oh, boy. So Lisa is trying to have fun at this festival, but finally Quillaby is getting to her because he's such a bummer. He's so over everything and
hates
so
every
above
band.
Everything. Terrible. Finally,
could you have fun at a gigantic like fucking Bonnaroo, where I mean, and you ain't got the money for VIP, so you're just camping 3 miles away. Maybe you got a little camper or a nice tent, maybe, but it's hotter than balls.
I don't think so, man. I think I'm past that. Like, yeah. Like, I've only been to one, like, big outdoor festival thing one time, and it was a one-day thing, like, one all day, and then you camp at night and leave in the morning, and even that was a little much. Yeah, like, I've been to my hometown hosted a mid-level one, and I loved it, but I was also fucking 19. And had that, and even at the end of that, as a teenager, I felt like I got hit by a school bus. It's like, just so run down. But like, if I did that now, I'd have to fucking be in a goddamn emergency room for a week. I just can't take being around that many people for that long. Like, I could bring sunscreen and stay hydrated and feel physically all right, but the whole time I was there, I'd be like, man, this isn't the way to live. The big asterisk for this for me is if somehow I could have a campsite a quarter mile away, but I know that's not feasible for those gigantic nationwide one giant weekend festivals. Like, if I were Mr. Burns rich and I could stay at a hotel in the nearest town and get dropped off at the gate every day and have a nice section where I'm not among the fucking riffraff and then get driven home. Like, with enough money, anything becomes doable, you know? Yeah. But for me, what I want is a camper so close that I could just, it's a 15-minute walk. I can sit in the AC, get out of the sun, drink some off sale at my leisure, bullshit with my friends, and then in 2 hours, okay, that band we really like is playing, and then we go. Yeah, I could see that being fun too. The noon to midnight being in the sun at a festival for 12 hours, that does nothing for me. I would need a place to retreat, Yeah. And I think a lot of those have that, know. Like, I think I've said before, the one that I went to, which was the first Knot Fest in Wisconsin, like, that was, like, we paid a little extra to get VIP, which meant you had access to an air-conditioned tent, I bet if you were downwind of a Slipknot festival, you can smell farts from 75 miles away. I bet the farts messed with the barometric pressure. Like, I bet it was like a meteorological, like, abnormality. Like, it's like anomaly. Like, what is happening? Like, I bet, like, people were baffled by it. Like, scientists reading graphs real intensely. Yeah. Like, what is going on? 100 years from now, they will forget that there was a music festival full of 300-pound fucking people eating Funyuns. And like, and they're going to be like, what happened on this day to cause this? Like, I mean, it did rain that night. Maybe we all did that. Yeah. You created a thunderstorm off of BO. Every time I go to like a hard rock concert in an arena, I smell at least 11 farts where I'm like, you need to go to the hospital tonight. That's just the most troubling fart smells. Like, how are you not 106 years old? Like,
just
something in you is dead.
Yes, and something needs to be excised from you. Like,
holy shit.
Oh my God, you just breathe it. Like, great. I'm glad I paid $75 for this.
Worth
this
it.
Dude can disembowel himself in front of me. Oh my God. Talk to someone. Eat some greenery.
Eat a vegetable.
Try a Brussels sprout.
The lettuce on your Taco John's taco does not count.
Yeah. They're fucking brushing that shit off right onto the floorboards. Notice I didn't say floor mats because the car never had them. Right onto the carpet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had a buddy one time, we used to work with him, and I was like, he bought a new car, and he was like, I was like, oh, fuck, that's pretty nice. You're looking around. You know how you do? You look around in a car when your buddy gets a new car. It's like, oh, you're going to have to buy floor mats. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it doesn't have floor mats. He's like, I've never owned a car with floor mats. And then I made the foolish comment, well, it's a lot easier to clean with floor mats. He's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, no.
Clean my car?
That didn't help. That didn't help your argument.
My name's not Vanderbilt.
Oh, God. So the real Quillaby comes out on stage, and he, like I said, has been a recluse. No one's seen him in like 30 years, and he is so fat and so hateful and sucks so much and is racist and eats meat. Like, he is everything that Quillaby was not, you know?
I do not know if the eating meat thing is true, but I know he was in the news for being like anti-immigrant in England. Like, he was like a close the borders type. Like,
that's a hot topic in England, from what I understand.
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
What does he say? This is a song for my new album called what? Refugees Again, or something like that. Jesus. So both Lisa and the hallucination Quillaby are bummed out by this, and Lisa says goodbye to her hallucination Quillaby, like, listen, we had good times and I'll always like your music, but you are not good for me. So he disappears, and now the crowd fucking riots, and Homer comes charging in with that goddamn pickup, like crushing cars and crashing through shit, and latches on to the Ferris wheel and drags everyone to safety. And then it's a dream. He fell asleep in traffic on the way to this festival.
That was good.
And Marge walked down to the festival and got Lisa and brought her back. And that's that. I like that episode. That was a good episode. Not knowing anything about Morrissey, I was a little worried going in. Like, oh, am I going to get anything? But I think I get it.
One of the very few times I've liked a musical number because the song is good.
Yeah, that's everyone is horrid, but me is so good and so
and then what is it?
Indicative of that character.
And what's in the parentheses? And maybe sometimes you or something like that?
And maybe you, yeah.
Yeah. I like at the very end, we get like Lisa and Marge kind of talking and making up, and like something about like, well, you were never like that as a kid. And then it cuts to like teenage Marge being all emotional. And I like, now Marge, all of her cutbacks, she's all dressed like it's the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So that didn't occur to me, but yep.
Yeah. So Homer is a teenager in the 90s, but not Marge. He's still in the 70s.
I think you can't stare at any of that too long.
Yeah. Who expects a show to last 30-something years? You know?
I don't think any of us are supposed to take any of those flashback episodes too seriously.
I'm going to stand by the fact that Mr. Burns is a World War I vet, but eventually they're going to write that out.
I think that is like the fixed moment in time. Like in Marvel's timeline, the only fixed point in time is that Captain America served in World War II. That is the that is the one fixed point, and then everything else works on a sliding scale.
Yeah.
I want Burns in World War I to be that.
Punisher's not a Vietnam vet anymore.
No, he's not. He's I think, Afghanistan vet now.
Oh, interesting. Oh, God, how time fucking flies.
Luckily, there's always a new war to set the Punisher origin story in, Nathan.
Thanks, America.
What would we do
without this? Let's see how episode 20 treats us. It's Mother and Child Reunion. A fun little title, fun little Paul Simon song.
Oh,
Paul Simon, right?
I was wondering what the reference was.
Yeah, that's it's one of those ones you'd recognize the song when you heard it because it was a single. Like,
okay,
I would attempt to sing it, but it would not be good, and we'd all get sad.
Yeah, and you and I don't sing badly on this show.
No, that's true. No, we get to the lab early in the morning. We take so many cuts. We Phil Spector this shit. We're fucking wall of sound. We're fucking.
I'm behind the sliders, just Rick Rubining the shit out of it.
Got your giant perm, tinted glasses, screaming hurtful things at me. You break me down to build me up.
Yeah.
Shape me in your image.
You wouldn't be nothing without me, Nathan. Just remember that.
The fam goes to visit a magic shop owned by Werner Herzog, which, okay, good start.
Yep.
Why are they there again? They say it right away, but it escapes me.
Bart wants to get a magic kit for Lisa for her insert event here. Birthday, Christmas, fucking bat mitzvah, I don't fucking know. It's a gift for Lisa.
Yeah, does Lisa ever have shown interest in magic? But she's the kind of kid that would.
Yeah. Bart, we did an episode where Bart...
Yeah.
Yes, she has. We do a whole episode where Lisa trains with that magician.
Oh my God! Yeah, Jesus, you're right. Like that retired. Yeah.
That old retired magician who huffs oxygen, who's full blue velvet in his meantime.
Yeah. You're right.
A couple of real good references in that magic shop. I don't know how much pausing you were doing.
Gabbo is on the shelf.
Motherfucking Gabbo on the shelf. Yep, that's the main one.
The other one I noted I thought was a very nice touch. That poster for Abracadabra was on the wall.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that's a nice, because it's not from class, and that was from 5 seasons ago. Abracadabra.
Yep, the world's foremost female up-close magician.
What a fucking title.
The other one I noticed up on the shelf is Mickey's wizard hat from Fantasia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're a Disney company. There we go. So they're milling around looking for what they want to get for Lisa, and they end up kind of talking about the legitimacy of any of this, and Werner's like, well, let's break out the tarot deck, and we'll find out where, I think they quickly find out that there's going to be future strife between Marge and Lisa over where Lisa's going to go to college.
Yeah.
And my notes say, oh boy, period. A flashback episode, period.
But no, Nathan, a fast-forward episode.
Oh, good call. But roughly 11 years into the future?
Something like that, because Lisa is, 17? So
yeah, so...
And she's 8 now, so 9 years. Yeah.
9 years, there we go, yep.
I also noted, this is the second episode where we have seen Lisa's future via a tarot card reading.
Oh, no shit, what was the other one?
The other one... was forever ago. They're at some manner of Ren fair or something, and she stumbles out into the woods, and there's that fortune teller lady. She goes to college and meets a nice British boy who she almost marries, but doesn't.
It was in the woods, kind of separate from everything else. Yeah.
And then when she's done, the tent is gone. I think was it ever really there kind of thing.
And just like with that one, in this one, we get buff, acne-ridden Milhouse again, which I have in
all caps, yoked Milhouse.
So good. And still loves Lisa. Lisa still does not love him.
I like that he points out, because it hadn't occurred to me until he says it. He's asking her to prom. He's
out of high school.
He's graduated. He's 20 years old, damn near.
Yeah. 19 at least.
Yeah. And he's like, come on, there's nothing cooler than when someone who's graduated comes back for prom. It's like, oh, you're gross, Milhouse.
And his dad asks him for him. It's so... Yeah. Just the Van Houtens being the Van Houtens.
Yeah.
Lisa's under a ton of pressure when it comes to her future, as many kids are at that age. They got a lot of big decisions coming up. And Marge, not really reading the room very well, she gathers a bunch of the family and friends under the idea that Lisa is going to announce her college choice. I think they're in the backyard of the Simpson house when this is going down. And Lisa shocks everyone by saying she isn't going to college right now, and Marge is fucking pissed.
Yeah.
As many a mom would be.
Yeah. Not into it. And man, that fucking speech that Marge gives about how she's given up everything so that she could go to college someday, and like, Marge is fucking wrecked.
Yeah. And I think it's a discussion between Marge and Lisa where I think Marge suggests it's like, you need to go talk to the man who's like helped shape you the most. And Lisa's like, you know what, you're right. And then cut to them at Ned's house. Yeah. Which was good. Like asking his opinion on deciding about going to college. And in my notes, I have, my God, grown-ass Rod and Todd are terrifying.
They're so good. Holy shit.
How deep their voices are.
But they still talk like Rod and Todd.
So
Holy
good.
shit. When they go when they go upstairs to bed and they're like, Daddy, can you bring the monster spray? Holy shit. Oh my God.
So good.
Daddy, can you read a story? Fuck, I was dying at deep voice Rod and Todd.
Does one of them have a mustache too now, I think?
Yeah, at least one has a fucking gross little puby mustache.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Ned's advice to Lisa is to go get a job, which Lisa does. She ends up getting a job at a place, I think it's in the mall, called Soy Dog on a Stick.
Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, the job fucking sucks. We get squeaky voice teen. Always love him.
Still squeaky voice. Like, they kind of didn't change how he's drawn at all.
He's 30 now. But never thought of that. He's way older.
But I guess he's a manager at this kind of shop now. That's new for him.
Yeah. So during this shitty job, Lisa decides to start teaching people who fell through the cracks. That's like almost like a pro bono thing to help the underprivileged. And squeaky voice, she's like, well, how are you going to do that? We find out by abusing workman's comp. She like spills a mop bucket or something and just slides to her doom. Yeah. Gets herself a check and starts teaching. It's kind of like...
It's like that Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
Yeah, exactly. Except how old are they supposed to be? Like, part of me is like, are they adults? Like,
I think they're teens. I don't know.
That seems more right, yeah.
What the fuck's the name of that Michelle Pfeiffer movie?
Dangerous Minds.
There we go. I kept wanting to say Criminal Minds, but not knowing that that's not it.
Yeah.
Is that movie good?
One of those long-running CBS dramas.
Is that movie any good?
Man. I bet it's forgettable, if that makes sense, you know?
I don't think I've seen any of the, like, prestige teacher movies. Like, I've never seen Good Will Hunting. I've never seen Dead Poets Society. I've never seen that one, not Criminal Minds, but the other one. I've never seen, what's the Stand and Deliver? Is that one?
Yeah. Edward James Olmos, I believe. Yeah.
Or Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, I think he's in it too, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those, I don't think.
There's one where one of Morgan Freeman's first big roles is he's like a no-nonsense principal taking over a rundown inner-city school.
Okay. Yep, never once have I seen any of those.
Hilary Swank has done one too in the last 15 years where it's basically just taking Michelle Pfeiffer out and putting her in.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely a genre for sure.
What movie comes to your mind, just like fire out of the holster, top of your head, when you hear Michelle Pfeiffer?
Might be that. It might be Dangerous Minds, or it would be Batman Returns.
Okay, mine is for sure Batman Returns, but I bet she's done other movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. But that's a very good question for someone who was a pretty lucrative actress in Hollywood for the better part of 25 years.
She was a legit huge movie star for a long time.
She was in that What Lies Beneath with Bruce Willis, probably like late 90s, early aughts.
Okay,
she was in a movie called
DVD cover.
Oh my God. No, she's not in Death Becomes Her. That's Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep. Also with Bruce Willis.
Okay. She's in Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
Good pull, yeah. I think that movie was like a big payday for both of those two because I think they thought it was going to be a big hit, and it was not.
I don't know that I've ever seen Wolf. I think I have.
Nope, nor have I.
I think it's just Shape of Water, but a werewolf.
Yeah, but it's, yeah. And is he a little more menacing too, though? Like, yeah, I think there's a little more...
I think it's
of a horror vibe.
Yeah. I think it's pretty violent, if I'm not mistaken.
Or maybe it's just Jack Nicholson puts off scary vibes.
Michelle Pfeiffer's in a fucking movie with Robert Redford where she's a reporter. Is it Up Close and Personal?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, I know I can't think of what you're talking about, but you're onto something there. You know what else she's in when she's young? Scarface.
Oh sure. Oh yes, of course. That seems like a big one to miss.
A movie I've never seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as everyone says it is, but it is good.
Yeah, and it's long. That always scares me away.
You don't like long things?
Yeah, I don't like, if your movie's over 2.5 hours long, it's like, what are you doing?
You see a limousine and you get terrified.
Yeah, go run in. You can
car
easily
too
do
long.
this.
Car too long. Yeah. It goes running away.
This could be 3 sedans.
Yeah, I was just thinking about her the other day because she's in the Ant-Man movies, starting with 2.
Oh, no shit.
And I saw the trailer for the 3rd one.
She was a later life role for her in the last decade, 15 years. She's in a Neil Gaiman joint, like some kind of fantasy where she plays some older, wise witch type, wizardess type character.
It's got to be New Gods or Sandman.
Yeah, and I might even be wrong with the Neil Gaiman part of it. But
okay,
she
well
was in some kind of something Neil Gaiman-y.
I've never read any of his stuff. I've always wanted to.
Yeah, I've owned a copy of American Gods. I've read the back. I've read the dust jacket.
I have almost bought American Gods on dozens of occasions and never have. So apparently you should just let me borrow yours.
So these classes that Lisa's teaching, they catch on, and she eventually has over 100 fucking colleges around the U.S.
Yep.
So, which makes me think maybe these are adults that she's teaching, adults that never were able to get a full education or something.
Yeah, maybe they're young adults, high school graduates.
Yeah, so now she's a very, very successful entrepreneur, and she also runs for and wins superintendent of the schools, where she beats an old Superintendent Chalmers, and then eventually turns into the governorship, and eventually she runs for fucking president, where we get an appearance of 538's Nate Silver, which has to be one of the most random air quote celebrity appearances.
I don't have a clue who that is.
Oh, no shit. See, yeah, I 538 was an ESPN thing right away, and Nate Silver, they've kind of went on to do everything, and they're huge. Nate Silver's this dude who is incredibly, insanely accurate at predicting who will win elections. He's just a numbers guy, and he just uses all the right metrics, and his batting average is almost unparalleled, I bet, in the last dozen years.
Huh.
It's just he's got it figured out. If Nate Silver says someone's going to win, there's a pretty good chance they're going to win.
I didn't get the Nate Silver reference, but I got the George Stephanopoulos reference. Yeah. So that's how deep I am in political news.
Yeah, I think old Stephanopoulos is still at it too. I think he hosts Meet the Press or something like that.
I think he's on an ABC morning show also, a Good Morning America.
Look at him go. That sounds right.
I think it's him and Robin What's-Her-Name and Michael Strahan, maybe?
Yeah, he's got or Strahan, is he on the Regis and Kathy Lee show now? Or is he off of that? He, at one time, I thought was maybe opposite Kelly Ripa.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know. Those shows are all the fucking same. I have no idea.
It's all, yeah. You're never at your best self when you're watching those.
No. I don't think I've ever been in a good place. I don't think I've ever been properly hydrated while watching one of those shows.
You could never use the phrase locked in to describe me as I'm watching Regis and Kathy Lee.
You sitting bolt upright with your forearms on your knees,
like taking quick notes.
Oh, Kelly, you're such a pill.
Michael thinks she talks too much. Interesting. Fucking Lisa runs for president. By God, she wins. For the first of several times now, Lisa is president.
Yeah.
And I get a kick out of the fact that her and Marge are still at odds. Because Marge still wants her to admit that, by God, she should have went to college. I think this is around the time Bart makes an appearance, who is now a billionaire pop mogul, visits Lisa at the White House, and they kind of have a nice moment where they talk, they would go for a walk, and it's like, man, who would have ever thought, we all knew you were going to do well, but who would have thought I would have managed to do this well too? And they kind of have a nice moment, and it's at that time I think Bart points out that all the things Marge did for Lisa that she might not have noticed, and we get like a kind of a flashback to all the little things Marge did for Lisa over the years to make sure she had the best chance of succeeding as an adult.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Marge is fucking mother of the century. So, like, no one should be surprised by this.
Yeah, of course because we get that same flashback earlier in the episode, but this time when it's her, like, studying and forgoing fun things in order to do schoolwork. But then this time when we get the flashback, the camera just moves a little to show that Marge is behind her, helping her.
Yeah. Marge comes to visit, and she insists that Lisa would have been better off going to college. Then Lisa is kind of prepared for this, and she uses a mom translator. Would that be the right term?
Yeah.
Which this felt kind of forced. Like,
this is a fucking dumb way to end this episode.
Yep. An episode that I am shocked how much I enjoyed. Like, I was perfectly dialed into it. It isn't great, not a lot of laughs, but I was ready to dislike this episode. I'm not a big fan of the time jump ones.
Yeah, I also liked this episode. Didn't love it, but then I thought this ending was such a fucking letdown. Like, this is how you ended this?
So, of course, they reconcile, and all's good. Cut back, they're at the fucking magic shop. We get a little more Werner Herzog, which is always nice, but yeah. But that pretty much put a bow on it. We
keep getting Werner Herzog throughout it. Like, it feels like every time we come back from commercial, But, like, I also just had trouble with the logic of, like, Lisa is the president, but Marge is still mad. Like, fuck off,
At least acknowledge how insane that is.
Yes.
Like Bart should be like, hey, I get it, it's crazy, but think of everything Mom did for you. But he never does that. Like, he makes it seem like Marge has a valid point. It's like, no, you gotta acknowledge how ridiculous this idea is.
Yeah, it's the idea that Marge would still be bent out of shape, even long before Lisa is president. Like, when she has a fucking chain of hundreds of Lisa colleges, like, even at that point, Marge is still fucking pissed? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's some
Kinda
bad
silly
logic in this one, but it's one of these episodes that doesn't count,
Yeah.
It's just a fun flash forward episode. We get a lot of Werner Herzog, so
yeah. So it could have been worse is a good way to put this one.
And Gabbo was there. You too good for Gabbo all of a sudden?
Yeah. God, Gabbo's a good deep cut.
We gave you Gabbo and you still gonna come at us?
We haven't seen Gabbo in a minute.
No, it's been a very long time. But all in all, yes, I did like that episode. Nathan, let's see if I also like episode 21, The Man from Grandpa. And what is that? The Man from...
Uncle.
Okay, yes. I couldn't think of it.
An old 70s, 60s TV show, I believe.
Spy show?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But the ones that are into this episode, we might be jumping ahead a little here, are they going for a Kingsman vibe, or...
I'm not 100% because I've never seen any of the Kingsman's movies. I just got kind of generalized spy, Bond,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was any one thing in particular they were looking for here.
The only reason I said it is I know those Kingsman movies are British.
Oh, sure. I've heard they're good, too. I think those are pretty
action,
well regarded.
Yeah.
We're in 1970 at a meeting of MI6. There's a man there who is gonna hunt down a Russian spy. We know that he's in America and that he goes by the name Gray Fox, which immediately I was like, that's from Metal Gear Solid, but I'm sure that's not the reference they're making, but Gray Fox is from Metal Gear Solid, god damn it. And he's like hiding in a city that has a nuclear power plant trying to steal all their secrets, and we know he was once a member of the Fighting Hellfish.
Yeah, that's a good callback.
Been a long time since we've seen that logo.
Yeah.
Flash forward 50 years ahead to the present, and this old British spy man is still on the hunt, looking for his nemesis, this Russian spy. He's in Springfield, and he's looking for Abe. Kind of figured that's where this was going. His name is Terrence, or at least that's his cover name, like his spy name. And he moves
Voiced by anyone notable?
Yes, the delightful Stephen Fry voices Terrence.
Nice pull, Simpsons.
I love Stephen Fry and his voice. He's got a very nice voice.
Yeah. He could do like the conductor from Shining Time Station if they ever rebooted
100%.
that. Yep,
he could absolutely do that. He could narrate animal shows. Stephen Fry could take you a long way. I think
sexually.
Stephen Fry Daddy. Yeah. Stephen Fry, I think, is the tutorial voice in the first Little Big Planet video game, and it's just that velvety, dulcet Stephen Fry voice guiding you through stuff. Yeah, he's good. I also for me, I always think of V for Vendetta. He's the like David Letterman type on V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who
good pull.
The one who hides Natalie Portman in his secret room. Terrence is his name in The Simpsons, and he moves into the old folks' home to keep an eye on Abe. Then we see him at the bar. This episode just fucking clips. This episode moves. Now he's at the bar telling everyone his life story, which he maybe shouldn't because he's a spy, but he shrugs that off. And then he fills in Homer on what he is here for, and that Abe is a Russian spy who's been like selling nuclear secrets to the Ruskies for all these 50 years, and while Terrence has been hunting him. Homer doesn't believe him, of course. No, that can't be. So Terrence invites Homer down to the pier to see Grandpa's routine of he shows up at the pier, he sits down, he lays his cane on the bench. Another man comes and sits down and lays his cane on the bench. Abe takes the other guy's cane, and then as he's walking under the pier, these Russian men in toques, is that the name of the furry hat? The Russian toque.
Okay. You said that with a confidence that I'm inclined to believe it.
Okay. I didn't have confidence because I immediately double checked with you, but
we'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
I haven't used that as a crutch in a while.
Yeah, no, you haven't.
That was a 3 times an episode thing at one point.
I don't know if you listen to our episodes after they come out, Nathan, but I don't think I have ever once fixed it in post.
Nothing gets fixed in post.
Yeah, the only thing I do is go through and take out all the racial slurs you insist on using and put it out the door.
I get mad at my laptop and the people that assembled it.
Why is he so angry?
Burma? Who's Burma? Who do I got to be mad at?
I keep saying it's a different time now, Nathan. We can't say that anymore, but every week, here we are.
Furiously Googling Burmese slurs.
Clipping slurs out of every podcast. So these Russians in their toques, I'm just going with it, like sneak slide an envelope into Abe's pocket, and that's all the proof Homer needed. He's going to deliver his dad to Terrence so he can be put to whatever kind of fucking international spy
tribunal.
Justice. Yeah. At the last second, he changes his mind, but it's too late. Terrence is there. He's got a gun. He throws both of them in the trunk and takes the fuck off. And that's when Abe and Homer in the trunk sort things out. Abe tells him, like, oh, you saw me steal a cane? I always steal canes. Like, Abe just steals things. And those weren't Russians. They were Canadians because he can't afford his medication. So he gets them from Canada.
That was a nice way of making that work.
Yeah, those Canadians would also have toques because it's cold.
Yeah.
Also, remember, we did an entire episode where they fly a fucking plywood plane to and from Canada to get Canadian meds, and then end up in
sweet
Cuba,
Canadian pills.
I think.
Yeah.
It's Abe and Homer and Burns. That was 100 years ago that episode was on. Meanwhile, Marge and the kids show up to the old folks' home looking for Homer and Abe, where they meet Terrence's daughter Hazel, also voiced by Stephen Fry. And she's like, oh, my dad is a senile old man and like is like losing it and has all these fucking crazy ideas about being a fucking spy hunter or some shit. And it turns out he's not supposed to have guns at all, but Herman sold him guns because of course he did.
Yeah.
Herman shows up and has some speaking lines. We don't
Good
fucking
for him.
see Herman ever. Herman makes an appearance in the first episode of America's Barley Basket.
Yep, think of that.
And here he still is, slinging guns. So the car pulls over with Homer and Abe in the trunk, and they think, well, this is it. But the trunk opens, and it's Marge, and Wiggum is there, and Terrence gets arrested, and he has like a little moment with Hazel. And then Abe, to make Terrence feel better, fesses up to being a Russian spy, and he gets arrested instead, and they let Terrence go. And that's it. Like, I don't... Okay.
My first comment was, my God, what a dud. But then we get that fucking scene where they're at that, like, is it like a beachfront amusement park type thing? I think it's Homer, because Homer wants a cotton candy. And I think he's with the MI6 agent who's explaining everything to him.
Yeah.
And then fucking Orson Welles gets involved.
Yeah.
and he's talking because it's straight from a movie called The Third Man, and it's so well done because there's a huge pivotal scene in that where they're at a amusement park, and he's about to get on that Ferris wheel, drinking wine from a plastic like Solo cup, and the squeaky voiced teen is like, "Sir, you can't have that." He's like, "I assure you, this wine will be gone." And then when he sits in, and he's balanced me with a cannonball, and they have one available, and they set that beside him. And then if you look, it's the Joseph Cotton candy machine with a black and white picture of Joseph Cotton in it. Like, what a fucking reference.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Died in the 90s, I'm sure, if not earlier than that. He's in The Third Man, a movie that came out when fucking Truman was president. It's a very good movie. If anyone wants to check out The Third Man, it's very good.
See, I saw that sign and the photo, and I was like, boy, this is such a fucking obscure reference. They had to put a photo of the guy up there. And like, I didn't know anything about this Third Man movie or that any of it takes place in a fucking amusement park, because I was just like, boy, we're just taking some shots at Fat Orson Welles for no reason? Okay.
Well, it all tied together. But that 2 minutes was the only 2 minutes I was truly invested in this episode. God.
I didn't mind this episode. It was not my favorite, but it was fine.
Fucking balance me with a cannon. Just it is dramatic. And squeaky voice teen does it like it's requested often.
Yeah, so often that they just have a cannonball right there.
Yeah, and the line that he delivers about the wine is far better than what I'm giving it credit for. Like, not one drop of this wine.
It's something like, not a drop will remain by the time I'm on the ride. And he just...
You adjust the waist brace or whatever it is. Like,
yeah, yep, there you go.
Balance me with a cannonball. Oh, my fucking God. But again, outside of that, I was like, okay, this is... Because just that... spy shit doesn't do much for me, and it's like, there wasn't a ton of laughs.
I like Bond shit, so I was at least involved in this episode. I was like, okay.
You were engaged. You're like, okay. I'm here.
I think that ending is a flop. I'm glad to have some context around the Orson Welles shit, because I was baffled. I was like, this seems like a Family Guy joke. Why is Orson Welles here for no reason?
I originally thought the daughter was the MI6 agent in Drag.
Oh,
I was
sure.
like, Marge, don't trust her. It's the guy. He's just going to lead you to them and put you in the trunk, too.
No. I mean, it's voiced by Stephen Fry, so I can see how.
Yeah.
I love that he voiced both of them. And, like, two other characters in that initial 1970 1970 meeting. Like, Stephen Fry voiced all the British people in this whole...
He had a day to kill. He had a day to kill in the booth.
Yeah. Sure, I'll help you out. I'm Stephen Fry. I seem delightful. I hope that's how he introduces himself to people.
Yeah. I seem delightful. It would be good. That's kind of ominous.
Yes, exactly.
Let's see how season 32 ends with episode 22, The Last Bar Fighter. That's a fucking reference.
Hell yeah.
It has to be The Last Starfighter, right?
Yeah, I've never...
80s movie that I've never seen.
I've never seen that movie. I know the gist of it. I know the plot synopsis on the back of the box.
Is that a John Carpenter movie, or am I thinking of something else?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I was thinking that was because it's not a horror movie, but John Carpenter did a few non-horror things.
We'll never know. There's no way to find out.
There's never. If only we held in our hands a device that would have all that information. Episode begins with Mo going to some secret kind of, members only bar that seems kind of high end that only bartenders are allowed to go to. And my note says, is this supposed to be like the bar in John Wick, which we find out absolutely.
It 100% is.
How has this never come up in our conversations? You a John Wick guy.
Fuck yeah, those movies are great. I like those movies.
Yeah, they are a ton of fun. What are we up to? Is 4 coming out?
4 is on the way out, yes.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll see it.
I don't think any of them have ever been as good as 1. I think they're all good, but I think 1 is pretty perfect.
I remember just being so blown away by 1 because I don't remember ever hearing anything about it.
Yeah, kind of came out not completely under the radar, but didn't have a fucking mountain of fanfare behind it.
For like a movie of that magnitude to not be based on a comic, it'd be R-rated, hard R-rated. The gun violence in that shit's amazing.
I like, as those movies have gone on, how they keep folding more lore into it. Like all this stuff with the hotel, I think that shows up in 2, or maybe it shows up a little bit in 1, but then gets expounded on in 2. Like, those movies are good. As far as pure dicks out action of that time, I prefer the Raid movies to the John Wick movies, but boy, it's a neck and neck race there.
You're winning with either.
You're
having a nice time.
Do you want
either.
Guns or do you want karate? Like, that's
with a little bit of guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
do you want karate with a little bit of guns, or guns with a little bit of karate?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want peanut butter in your chocolate, or chocolate in your peanut butter?
Both options. Pretty tits.
Yeah. Just give us the Avengers version where John Wick has to fight the Raid boys. Like, let's do that. I also just love the simplicity of that first one. Like, here's a guy, and some assholes killed his dog and stole his car. Here's 100 minutes of him shooting people. Yeah,
here's him getting revenge.
I think that's great.
So while all that's going on, Milhouse and Bart are kind of milling around outside of the Krusty studio, kind of want to get in on a taping of the Krusty show.
Yeah.
Which that's something we haven't had in a while. The kids in the crowd.
Yeah. Used to happen all the fucking time.
Yep.
Apparently Krusty tickets were easy to come by.
Yeah. And what is it? They have a snake issue. Like, they must have had some in-house snakes that got loose.
Yep, a bunch of snakes escaped.
Yeah. So the Krusty taping is abruptly canceled, but hey, they're on set. And I think it's Milhouse notices that the Bumblebee Man's Spanish language talk show is about to begin. So Milhouse and Bart get in on that. And I like the idea that Milhouse speaks Spanish, but Bart doesn't. So Milhouse is getting all the jokes.
Yeah. And Bart's just confused.
Yeah, because it's a very madcap, like wacky shit happening. Like,
yeah.
Bart gets selected kind of for like some kind of, I don't know, like you see this on late night talk shows. 3 studio members get picked and you have to do some silly thing to win a prize.
Yeah, play a silly game.
Oh, because they have to put like, I think, is it vodka or some kind of booze they have to fill their mouths with?
I think so. Is it horchata? I think it is.
There you go. Yep. It's like something rum chata or something like that.
Yeah, you have to
horchata.
You have to fill your mouth with it, and then whoever doesn't spit it out from laughter.
Which Bart is a shoo-in because he doesn't fucking know what the jokes are. Is it Grandpa Baby is what he refers to the man.
Grandpa Baby is so insane. Just this old Mexican man in a fucking diaper and a bonnet
with a cigar. So Bart does win. He has 3 choices, like kind of like almost like a Monty Hall. Like you have choose a prize between one of these 3 doors. It's a vacuum, a crystal skull full of vodka, and a dirt bike. And he fucking chooses the skull, which, I mean, it's funny because like just a kid thinking that's cool, but thought for sure he'd go with the dirt bike. But God, we had to get there somehow.
What an insane way to get there.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, if you think of where this goes, it's how do we get Moe drunk with the barflies?
Yeah, good. A pull, but fuck, I am with this so hard. I was enjoying all of this.
Yeah, like I'm into it, but looking back, Jesus, we really fucking stacked up the bodies to climb to the top of this hill.
So Bart brings home his prize. He's very proud of it. And of course, Homer wants it, which Bart milks to the fullest extent, which that's a common thing where Bart realizes he has something over Homer, and he knows Homer is all emotion, no logic, and just plays him, you know? Like, so we get a little bit of that, like calling into the radio station just to fucking rub it in a little bit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
One night, Homer comes home and sees Bart sleeping with the skull, and he fucking steals it, because of course he does, because he's not a good parent.
He does the Indiana Jones where he like switches Maggie with the skull full of tequila.
Because they're equal weights.
Yeah, that was fun.
But he's not a selfish man. He takes it back to Moe, so him and the boys can enjoy it. Gonna drink some fucking high-end booze for once. And they're having a good time, and they eventually convince Moe to indulge. And despite his reservations, he's like, hey, as a bartender, I'm not supposed to, like, kind of party with you guys. But they eventually convince him, and they eventually get fucking drunk. Oh, my God. What ceremonial shot? Oh, it's the 1979 Iran hostage crisis ceremonial
commemorative shot glasses. Good fucking God.
That was fucking ridiculous. I laughed hard. That's a 1993 Simpsons prime cut joke.
Insane joke. Yeah. My favorite sentence of the entire batch this week happens right here when Moe takes a pull off of that fancy tequila. He goes, I haven't had anything this expensive in my mouth since my dad's gun.
Oh my God, I laughed. So good.
What the fuck, Simpsons? Jesus. Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
So now they're all tuned up and they decide, by God, we got to go out and raise some hell. So they're kind of like on the Springfield boardwalk, I guess, because there's other people milling around, but they're drunk and obnoxious and they're scaring people away. And then Milhouse makes a comment about somebody that's nearby, and they're like, how do you know that? And drunk Moe lets the cat out of the bag that, there's a bar that I go to that me and the other bartenders share secrets, which they're all like, the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
we tell you all of our deepest, darkest shit, man. I thought that was confidential.
And then you tell it to other bartenders, which we get Ian McShane back at the Continental or whatever the hotel's called in this one, like telling the tale of like, it like goes back to the ancient Egyptians, like the trusted league of listeners who listen to the listeners, you know.
But they have to have a place to empty all of that knowledge.
Yeah,
like,
because
they can't hold it in.
Bartenders listen to all your shit. They need a safe place to say it. Also, boy, howdy do I love Ian McShane's voice. Woof. There is like people talk about Morgan Freeman, Sam Elliott, like all great voices. People forget about motherfucking Ian McShane.
Yeah, he's perfect. I mean, he plays the role in the movie, but he's perfect for something like this.
Yeah.
And Mo turns the blade on those guys eventually, too. I'm trying to think. He points out Lenny is self-conscious about his spaghetti arms. I think it's...
What woman would want to be held by these?
Yeah. And they, like, wobble. Like they are spaghetti arms. He kind of mocks Carl for never having the fortitude to get his startup company off the ground.
Yeah.
What is it with Homer? What's the thing that he busts Homer's balls about?
Oh, I forget what the Homer specific one.
The Homer one might be more like mean than fun. Something how like you lament being a bad parent, but you don't do anything about it. So you just sit here and tell us how bad of a parent you are.
Yeah.
Instead of going home and fixing it.
And having to try or something along those lines. Yeah. And he busts Barney's balls about not being able to tell his mom he lost his job at AutoZone.
Yeah. So they're all like, fuck this dude. Like, you're just a fucking drunk jerk. And they just walk away. Mo's like, fine, I don't need you. He walks the other way. The next morning, Mo wakes up in the gutter where he gets fucking ran over by a street sweeper, which is good.
I like that it freshens him up. He's like, huh.
Like,
much better.
He kind of straightens his shirt out and he's ready to go on with his day.
If you got hit by a goddamn street sweeper.
I don't think you're walking away from that one. That's gonna fuck. Those are as someone who's been around street sweepers, those bristles are not gentle. They do not exfoliate. They puncture.
Oh, it's not like a nice soft beard brush. It's not. There's not sandalwood holding all those soft horse hairs in place. Yeah. It's like a goddamn weed eater cord.
Yep. Well, that's not far off. Yeah, like a less bendable fucking weed eater fucking line.
Woof.
So yeah, don't lay in front of a street sweeper is what we're telling you. If you can take anything from this podcast,
that's one to grow on.
Yeah. So Mo sees his apron, realizes, oh shit, what did I do? I'm gonna fucking hear about it. Right, a rat runs up with like a coaster with the bar's insignia. So he's like, oh fuck, they're calling me. It's like, I gotta go. Which he crawls into the gutter, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, he has to follow the rat.
Yeah. And he gets back there. Ian McShane's character is like, well, you realized you did the one thing you cannot do. You let outsiders know about this. And he's like, okay, I understand. He gives him his key. Like, he's like, oh, that's not all. Like, you can't just walk away from this. We have to, like, your friends have to be, I'm trying to think the term that they use for it.
Cut off. Your friends are cut off. Yeah.
Your friends are like, so I was like, oh, that, my first thought is, oh, that means dead. So that's going to be the thing. There's going to be like, they got to save their. He's got to go back and save their lives. But
I went the other way. I thought it was less severe. I thought it meant no bartender in town would serve them anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Like cut off everywhere.
Because Mo was really frantic about this, so he like runs to the power plant, sees him in the break room, was like, "Oh, this is where you guys work, huh?" I was like, "Jesus, now I see why you guys drink." And then I like too. It's like, oh, we got to tell Barney. Where's Barney? He's like, Barney doesn't work here. He's like, he doesn't.
Really? Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Mo doesn't know that.
Yeah. So they get Barney on like a fucking iPad, talking to him, and he's at home, and he's not happy to see Mo. Mo hurt his feelings, and he's like just sitting on the couch, and that's when we see someone come through the window and inject Barney with the. Is it the anti-booze? I think they call it just the anti-booze.
Yeah, anti-booze.
And then And they're like, oh my God, whatever you do, Barney, don't drink. He's like, I'm not going to listen to you. You're mean. And he takes a drink and then fucking goes through it. It is, you do not react well. Like he gets horn hives, like just horns start growing.
Rhino hives.
Yeah, right, there you go, rhino.
All these tiny rhino horns all over his body.
Oh my God.
Splitting headache.
Yeah. And then the camera, we don't see it, but he gets some kind of insane projectile vomiting that lasts for fucking ever.
He vomits for too long.
Yeah. So they realize, oh shit, this is not a joke. They make a run for it, but there's, just like out of John Wick, there's like an APB put out by all the area bartenders, like anti-booze for these three. So they're all out there with their syringes. I think it's Lenny and Carl get it at the same time in a dark alley from the lady from the Lederhosen German bar.
Yep.
She takes them out. Homer makes a run for it. He goes home, gets home safely. Oh, maybe he survives, but nope. We find out Dr. Hibbert, who's been sitting there for a while, made his way through college as a bartender, and he gives him the shot, and then he puts a fucking lolly in his mouth. I thought that was a nice touch.
So good.
And Homer's hung up with a corkscrew, just sitting there sucking on his lolly.
And it's like one of those safety lollies with the loop instead of the stick. Yeah.
So they can't drink anymore. We get a flash forward to 3 months into the future. Homer is now thin. He's wearing a suit.
I love how perfect everything is.
Yeah. One thing I like about, I don't know if this is just in this or if other times when he's all cleaned up. When he's fancy Homer, his hair isn't two loops in the air. They're flat against his skull.
Yep. Like they've been combed down. Yep.
Yeah. He's wearing product to hold his two hairs down.
Oh my God.
So he's talking about like, okay, like they're all like, oh, Homer's been so great. You're doing so well at work. It's like, yeah, I gotta go pick up coffee for my team. Apparently he has like a managerial position.
Yeah.
But he's like telling Bart, I'll be at your skateboard expo. Lisa, don't worry. I'll still have plenty of time to get to your thing. And then he has time to give Maggie a raspberry. He's just fucking father of the year. 100 pounds lighter.
Extremely wholesome.
Yeah. So he's at Starbucks, and he's like, oh my God, imagine running into you three. And it's Lenny, Carl, and Barney, and they're killing it too. Lenny's now fucking jacked. Like 1989 Lex Luger jacked.
He's fucking big. Lenny is a horseman.
Carl looks the same, but we find out he has started his startup company finally, and it's doing very well. And it's basically a Roomba for your body, which was funny.
Yeah, like for your body hair. Does it shave you?
Yeah. So Carl's rich, Lenny's ripped, and Barney, well, he got his job back at AutoZone
and reconciled with his mom. Yep.
Yeah, he's the one that holds the arrow. He was too drunk to hold an arrow. That's good.
We get slicked back hair Barney, which we haven't seen in a long, long time.
It still sticks in my craw how little effort they put into ending the Barney sobriety. It's like, that was multi-seasons, and nope, just write it off.
He just
so fucking lazy.
Fell off the wagon off screen fucking 15 seasons ago.
Yeah. So they're all like, we should go, kind of mean-spiritedly, because they haven't forgiven Mo yet, I don't think. They just kind of want to go see how he's doing, kind of. But when they see him, he's running an omelet bar, which, Jesus Christ, I never thought of it. That has got to be a fucking rough way to make a living.
Yeah. God, they show how horrible the omelet bar customers are. I asked for diced ham, and this is clearly cubed.
Oh, my God. Hit her with a fucking frying pan.
Yep, absolutely. Put that omelet up your ass.
When he eventually is so ashamed when he ducks down, so you just see his hands working the frying pan.
He's still working. He's still flipping the omelet.
So they are saddened to see how far he's fallen. They have a talk. It's like, you know what, man? Maybe we don't drink, but you're still our bartender. Let's go to Moe's, where he pours them all waters, which I like when he's like, hey, guys, it's fun serving you water. Just let you know it is still watered down. And they all laugh, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know why that's funny.
Yeah. So they're having a good time. They're all kind of friends again. That's when a homeless man at the end of the bar reveals himself to be the bartender, the Ian McShane's character. And he's like, what did you say? Just so moved by their friendship and their loyalty. Like, you know what? You guys deserve another chance, and we're going to get... Oh, here's the antidote for you. Let's see. Now, if you take this, you'll be able to drink again, which... Lenny, Carl, and Barney throw their backs out. They jump so fucking hard at this. Like, immediately take it.
He's like trying to warn them, like, but be careful because you'll also lose all the good things about sobriety. They are already they're already shooting up.
Fucking, I think it's Barney. It's just right in the throat, like right in the neck.
You could probably stick that in a thigh if you wanted to, Barney.
He needs it to work now. Homer, though. He takes the syringe and thinks about it, and then he just fucking smashes it on the floor of the bar. He's like, nope, I mean too much to my family now. I'm a better parent. I'm a better husband. I'm a better worker. And then he just he doesn't want the temptation, and he fucking sprints out of there. And then that's when the bartender puts out another APB, and all the town's bartenders pile into the streets to give Homer the anecdote. And I like how we don't see it happen. It's just, that's how it ends.
Yep, the bartender's chasing Homer down the street to force the antidote onto him.
And then the episode, we have one of those addendums where it's Bart, Lisa, and Maggie going for a walk on like a bright day, sunny day. And they're like, oh, look at that. That's what's left of your skull. Like, they just see it smashed on the sidewalk. And Bart's like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then it fucking reforms itself.
Yeah,
and because we saw this gag earlier where like it's possessed and it speaks in a very angry Spanish voice, and we find out that it says something about how like your family has a genetic predisposition for addiction, and then just laughs menacingly.
Yeah,
like, and none of them speak Spanish, so they're all clueless as to what it said.
That skull is exactly Jan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull vodka bottle.
I thought the same thing.
Like,
it's interesting.
Not even trying to hide it.
Like, do you think one of some of the writers are friends with Dan Aykroyd? Like, hey, we'll do you a solid.
Or they just thought
it's a fun idea.
Needed something that Bart would pick, and a skull is pretty cool. Yeah. But again, the fucking route we took to, like, none of that Bart at the Bumblebee guy shit had to happen at all. Like, you could have found some other way for Mo to join the guys for a drink.
It's amazing. Yeah. Like, what a way. Like, that's a throwback to some good Simpsons episodes where, like, the one with fucking the sea captain, where we get that insane backstory.
Yeah.
Just so they have a reason to spend some extra money in the city.
Yeah. Like, I'm here for it, but after looking back at this episode, I'm like, Jesus, the fucking wind and route we took to get where we were headed.
I was a huge fan of this episode.
Yeah, I like this episode a lot.
This was a very good one. Not a real dud in the bunch. I mean, I think that spy one was going there for me, but that fucking 90 seconds of fucking Orson Welles, I was laughing so fucking hard.
I think the spy one is maybe the future one. One of those two is
good call.
Is the lowest on my totem pole, but even that one was good. Even those were good. This is a good batch.
Yeah, damn right.
And I love that Burns Veggie Burger one. That's a great episode of The Simpsons.
Yep. What was the second one?
The Quillaby one.
Oh, God, yeah. And I thought that delivered. It wasn't huge in laughs, but it was fun.
Yeah. I was fine with that one, too. It was...
Look at us.
End
in season... Yeah, look at them. Look at the squad and whoever's writing The Simpsons in season 32.
Yeah, season 32 ending pretty strong.
Al Jean still there? I know at one point I thought he handed the reins over. I'm not sure if that's happened yet or not.
Boy, I have no idea. I don't pay that close of attention, I guess.
You don't need to know how the Simpson sausage is made.
No, I'm not in it for the Simpson sausage making. Just give me the sausage.
Just give me the sweet meat treats.
Yeah, I don't need to peek back behind the weird clear flap doors of the butcher shop. I just want the sausage.
Do that flat motion with your hands. That's Patreon only, baby.
Man, nobody would pay for this if we recorded this video of this Zoom call of you and
our mugs
talking about The Simpsons. No.
Well, we could use the fun Zoom filters. We could have silly makeup or a silly little hat.
Okay.
Think of the options. So many options.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you could.
Oh. bro, you could put on like rouge or lipstick. So if you don't feel like getting ready for work, you can look makeup.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I am not joking. And like, I've heard some people say too that it's like it kind of fucking if someone wasn't staring at your lips, because why the fuck that person should get fired if they're just staring at your mouth. But like it's like I guess it works pretty well too.
Huh. That's a good feature, actually.
Yeah.
I bet plenty of people find that feature very useful.
So if you're catfishing someone, you don't have to put as much work in as you used to.
You know me.
But the work is half the fun, you know.
Yeah, it's the. I'm in it for the fishing part of catfishing.
Yeah. Hand sewing that Dolly Parton wig. Holy shit, you with a huge pile of Dolly Parton hair. Not shaved, just hastily applied rouge and lipstick and giant fake eyelashes.
Oh,
hey there, sailor.
You don't disguise the voice at all, yeah.
He's just head over heels.
You looking for a good time?
He's in it for the long haul. It's not even a sloppy hookup. He wants to get married. He's gonna turn that hoe into a housewife. And he wins you over.
Eventually I'm like, you know what? He's all right.
Really nice. He listens. Guys, he listens. For once in my life, someone listens.
He asks me about my day.
And he means it. It's not just perfunctory.
He doesn't just want me to get another popsicle.
He lets me eat popsicles with my hands. No more bench fights. Holy shit. Just fucking bolting in a bench vice, not even at a proper angle, on your fucking apartment fucking like cupboard countertop.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Hey man, what's this? Ad from my fuck videos.
I'm sorry I asked. I'll just fix the garbage disposal. Jesus Christ.
You can charge me whatever you want, man. That thing has paid for itself 100 times over.
Just trying to fucking... I'm 2 weeks for buying a house, brother. This is probably the last time we see each other.
Yeah. Paying cash for a house because of that bench vice.
I was just trying to make conversation. I shouldn't even talk to these people.
Yeah. I bet that has said a lot by fucking apartment maintenance men.
Man, I was just thinking, what kind of nightmares do you think apartment maintenance people see?
Why do I make the mistake of treating them like real people?
while I'm here in the middle of the night trying to pull a dead dog out of somebody's toilet.
They're casually talking to you and a string of 19 garlic bulbs falls out of their ass.
Make a hell of a sound.
Yeah. It's 1, 2, and then just like a waterfall, they all zipping out. Gravity takes hold.
Yeah, I bet it's an alarming amount of dirtbag apartment livers that answer the door in some manner of undress.
Yeah, just a flip-flops and a half tee.
Yep, just holding a comforter around your nude form.
And a big sun hat. some giant Jackie Onassis sunglasses. Cock and balls and butt cheeks fully exposed. Or a t-shirt tied in a side knot. You could have it long enough, but nope.
No.
Oh, wait, someone's at the door. Tie it up quick.
Oh, you must be here to replace the CO2 monitor? Okay, right this way.
Just while you're doing that, they're in the fucking kitchen touching their toes. 21, 22, 23.
Oh God.
Oh fuck. You think you're gonna watch season 33?
You know what? I thought about it, and yeah, I'll watch season 33.
Good for you.
It was touch and go there for a minute. I was like, isn't this enough? Haven't I done enough?
Haven't you given? You give and you give. But you know what? It ended on a good note. Maybe it'll start with a good note.
Hell yeah, it did. At this point, we may as well, because we ain't got much left, brother.
Let's savor it. Savor each morsel of The Simpsons.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll start that journey, the beginning of the end, next week. Episodes 1 through 5 of season 33 of The Simpsons.
We're doing it.
34 is on the air currently, but 33 is the last one that's up on the streamy streams. So we will tackle it starting next week.
Bye, everybody.